Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be discussing which anime dads are the worst. Before we get into that, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it if you did that for me. Now, getting right into it. First and foremost, I don't know who the guy is on the bottom right. We're going to have to take that guy out as far as I'm concerned. I can't really speak on that guy's credentials as a bad dad, I guess. The next group we're taking out is we're actually taking out 4 guys. That's obviously going to be Goku, Sasuke, Jing, and Dragon. Now, these guys really aren't that bad at dads, and in some cases they really do a lot for their kids. Their biggest thing is that they're really just not around a lot, and really what it boils down to is they work a lot, and that's really not that bad in and of itself. A lot of dads work a lot and don't see their kids that much, so that's not that big a deal. Especially compared to a lot of these other guys. Jing's a little worse because it's one thing to not see your kid because you're working, but it's another thing to like abandon your son for your work. It's kind of a little different, but still, I'm taking those 4 guys out first. Next guy out is going to be probably, it's a toss-up between Endeavor and Gar's dad. I think Gar's dad really loves his son. Although he did kind of put himself in like a bad situation, and he did try to have his son killed. So that probably makes him worse than Endeavor. And Endeavor is definitely trying nowadays, and I don't think he ever like did anything like physically to his kid, as far as I can remember, at least. I don't really 100% remember exactly what the story is. It's been a little while since I've actually watched My Hero, so I would say that Endeavor's a little better than Gar's dad, just because Gar's dad actually did try to kill him. But I'm taking those 2 guys out next, because at the end of the day, they do love their kids. They're trying to turn over. When Gar's dad reanimated, he tried to turn over a leaf a little bit, so that counts for something. Now the final 2 we have are definitely the worst, and the one I'm taking out next to last is going to be Judge Sanji's dad. He literally like tortured his kid pretty much. He put him through a whole lot. Just let him get beaten daily, put him in a cage, put like a freaking iron mask on him. And then he pulled this got to be the biggest cornball move in all of anime. Is he literally, whenever he ran away when he was a kid, he said, literally, don't tell anybody you're my son, you're not my family anymore, blah, blah, blah. Read him the whole 9 yards, whatever. And then freaking, he brings him back to be married because he's his son. Like, you gotta do this thing because you're my son. Like, dude, what a cornball move. Screw that guy. I don't care that they tried to make it seem like he's a good guy at the end, which I guess that kind of contradicts what I said just a little bit earlier, but don't mind that. Don't let that take away from my side. He's a cornball. But just because he's the biggest cornball in anime doesn't mean that he is the worst dad on this list. The worst dad on this list is obviously freaking Shao Tucker, and I'm not even going to get into what he did. Everybody knows that's easily the worst thing, bar none. There's no discussion. There's no debate. It's obvious. It was obvious from the start. I think as soon as people saw the list, pretty much you probably pause the video and you're like, well, I already know who's going to be the worst out of this. So anyway, what do you think? Which one of these dads do you think is the worst, except for Shao Tucker, because he's obviously the worst? Which one do you think is the second worst? Is a better debate, maybe. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you give me a like and a follow. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to have a great rest of your day, I guess, you son of a